in the semi-finals, Alan.
That's right, yeah, a little bit more added spice to the, encounter that we've all been waiting for anyway, and just a little bit of extra there. So Michael even could win and get knocked out.
Yeah, we're looking forward to this one. Well, there are lots of new fathers here in the Champions League in Cardiff this weekend. One of them is Michael van Gerwen.
I'm nearly six weeks dead now, and yeah, I can't really complain. She sleeps quite good, and if she comes like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, that's the most earliest one, then my wife does a little bit of breastfeeding, and then it's fine. Michael can keep taking a nap. It's the best thing in the world. I won 2 World Championship titles, but not even close to compare to that.
Bullseye for a 130. It's magnificent! And there it is! Superb from Raymond van Barneveld.
Sometimes you have them games, it doesn't go your way, and that was one of them, definitely.
This is the problem with Michael van Gerwen. If you knock him down, if you hit him with something, he tends to hit back harder.
I had to, otherwise I was out of the tournament, and you have to perform, you have to do well, and I think I did the right thing tonight. Also with a nice leg difference, I think that put me back in a nice position, and yeah, it makes me sharp for tomorrow. I don't care what people say, I'm just Michael and I do my thing, and I love to play darts.
Can he overcome the power tomorrow?
It's going to be a really difficult game. It's also a little bit of studying before, because Phil, for him, doesn't matter, he's already through. And I don't think he wants to go till the last end, because he also needs to make sure he's ready for that night. And it's going to be tough tomorrow. I need to make sure I win. I need to make sure I show everyone I'm the better player at that moment. I need to stand up and show everyone what I can. The greatest all times. He won the most events, tournaments, 16 world titles. No one can argue that, but yeah, he doesn't like really me, because I'm getting close to his best.
Well, this is a repeat of last year's final. Michael van Gerwen has won against Phil Taylor on 25 occasions. Phil Taylor, though, leads the career head-to-heads. 32 wins. There have been 2 draws. Their first competitive meeting was November 2011 in Holland. And Paul Nicholson has rejoined us. We were looking forward to it anyway, given the fact we're talking about 2 massive heavyweights in the world of darts. But it's taken on even more significance now Barney's through.
Yeah, just a little bit. And just as a game of darts, you always want to watch this fixture, but right now there is more spice in this than you will get in most curries, because these guys really want to just take each other out. And Michael van Gerwen has an agenda with Phil Taylor. He wants to put things straight after what happened in the summer at Blackpool.
Yep. How much are you looking forward to this, Mark?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And the fact that Michael has to win by a few clear legs. It'll be interesting to see if he's actually won the darts, because by going first, only 1 breaker throw needed for that 3 clear. If he's against, he'll need the 2 difference, so that could be a major factor. But Michael will be up for it. As you said, Paul, they've had the issues in the world match play, and Michael want to settle the score here.
Yeah, so 10-7 or better would see Michael van Gerwen through. If you're in MVG's position, Paul, I suppose it's like any other match, isn't it, really? You just get on the front foot and try and build a lead early on.
Yeah, he's got to do what he did last night, not what he did yesterday afternoon. We talked about it in the coverage. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to not care anything about what Phil Taylor wants in this match. Do it his way. Win his way, and that's aggressive. Put it all out there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about later. Do it now.
Yeah.
If Michael van Gerwen does that, he wins this match, and he could win it comfortably if he does the right things at the right time.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just ultimately got to concentrate on winning the game. You can't let that scoreline, and you know, if he hasn't pulled clear after, say, 4 or 5 legs, he's not got to worry about it. He's got to concentrate on winning the game, and then if he hasn't got that lead, he's got to have a big onslaught towards the end.
Is also Michael going to be completely and utterly fired up by losing in the final last year, because obviously he was really hurt, wasn't he? Because Phil said how much he wanted to win that title, the inaugural Champions League. Michael van Gerwen plays very well, gets the final and loses. He steps out here today thinking to himself, actually, I can knock this fella out of the tournament.
Yeah, he can knock him out, and it's up to him to do it. He doesn't want it any other way. He's world #1. He is used to the pressure. Now the pressure's on him to deliver. Now he will relish that. Other players may fear what they have to do, but he relishes the challenge. He will be ready for this.
Okay, boys, we look forward to this one then. The players are standing by. Our MC is standing by. John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the Motorpoint Arena in the capital city of Cardiff for the Unibet Champions League of Darts, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. A very special welcome to our viewers joining us on BBC Sport and the millions joining us around the world. It's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the legends. The reigning and defending Unibet Champions League of Darts champion. And the record-breaking, history-making, 16 times the champion of the world. It's Phil. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the current world #1 and the reigning two-time champion of the world, mighty Michael and Gerwen.
One of these big boys is going home. One is going through to the semi-finals. Who will it be? Let's find out in the company of Alan and Dan.
Well, the greatest player of all time versus the greatest player in the world right now, fighting it out for a spot in the knockout rounds of the Champions League of Darts. Phil Taylor, 7 times he's walked on this stage in the Champions League over this year and last year, and every single time he's been victorious. But despite that, he is in danger. It is not guaranteed that the power will find himself in the semi-finals.
Yeah, those scenarios can pop up, can't you, when you get 3 players of the calibre of these two. And RVB obviously would include Adrian in that, but just wasn't at the races this weekend, so he needs to get back on the practice board and get his act together for the rest of the season. So we know the scenario, the players know the scenario. But from these two, this Clash of the Titans encounter means so much more.
Well, savour it. It might well be the last time we see the great Phil Taylor playing on the BBC. 2 end-of-game bosses going head-to-head for a spot in the semi-finals here, and it is the power Phil Taylor who has the advantage of throwing first in the opening leg.
Here we go. Hold on to your hats. So much quality, we all know, between these two.
96.
Who's got that extra aggression? First and foremost, they'll be thinking about just winning the game.
Phil Taylor can make it through even if he is beaten, but he's got to get at least 8 legs. And Michael Van Gerwen is not a man who gives up 8 legs very easily. First maximum for MVG.
Because of the scenarios you've mentioned, every single leg is crucial. A break and throw, a missed double, a big finish. Doesn't matter what it is, it's important.
98. Who will require 81?
Treble 19, double 12 is the typical route for the power. 12s now. For the ball.
56.
Not quite.
Michael will require 127.
Going on 2-7, very doable. Needs the treble 19, he hits it. He needs the ball, and he hits the ball! Great start from both players, both had a shot at the middle.
Game on.
It's Van Gerwen who hit it. Good start from MVG.
Is that setting the tone for this one? Taylor blinks on the 12 darter. Van Gerwen doesn't and kicks off with another 180.
Well, great scoring leg, that first one, both on the 12 darter. Taylor missed it, Van Gerwen took it out, and you can see there, animated Van Gerwen. He's up for it, he's up for it, he is up for it. 177 after the 180.
Michael Van Gerwen has thrown 6 perfect darts, and included in that is that awkward treble 19. Phil Taylor last year came so close to the perfect 9-dart leg. MVG could produce one here.
It's on, it's on. Oh! Hit the post and came out into the treble 5. How close was that?
90.
Fine margins. Bump for the fist. We may get another go at that over the course of the next few legs.
Well, you never know with these two, and it just shows you how much respect these two have for each other. That one there. They both know what they've achieved in the game.
Game show,
Van Gerwen, at the moment, 2-0.
12 darter to start, 11 darter to follow. It's only going in one direction now.
100.
Small margins. Oh, that first leg, he missed the ball for a 12, and Van Gerwen took it out.
93.
That's what these players can produce. What these players can produce. Can change a game in an instant.
Well, Michael Van Gerwen's hit 3 9-darters this year, 15 in his career. In fact, he hit 2 in a game at the start of this year, in a short format game. Phil Taylor has hit 2 in a match before, of course, in the Premier League against James Wade. But an even shorter format Michael Van Gerwen did, and look at this. Look at it! He's hit 1 in each leg.
Well, if you were wondering, after his first defeat in the group, if he was up for this, there's your answer. He's on fire.
60.
Fifty-eight leads to 170.
Well, it does. And it reduces his average from 131 to 124. Poor from Van Gerwen.
A measly 124. The world record, by the way, held by MVG, 123.4. This would nudge the average up. What's it leave? What's up?
Ball!
26.
Well, they hit the ball in the first leg for 127. Missed it there for the big one. We've already seen that. Adrian Lewis. Smile on Taylor's face. 16 for tops. He's got to get it. And guess it, he does. Was it ever in doubt?
Well, a ton-plus checkout from Phil Taylor, first leg on the board. All smiles, the power. He's been laughing and joking in the build-up to this one. If he is feeling pressure, doesn't look like it. And the crowd starts singing his name.
Well, we're in leg 4. Absolutely fantastic game so far. Well, these two have had Unbelievable encounters in the past few years. This has got the makings of another one. Great start from both. Crazy averages, crazy scoring.
And a first maximum for Phil Taylor, looking to break back and level this one.
I think Russ Bray might need some cough mixture after this match. Staying up there. Strange face.
Well, a maximum for MVG to leave 29. Bit of noise in the motor point. Will it put off Taylor? Double 16. Great guide, you would think. Just lay it on top and can't do it.
But we require 29.
Well, the momentum he's had in the last couple of legs, you kind of didn't expect him to miss that one. But he's paid the price. And you can see what it means for Van Gerwen. Well, Phil thinks it's funny. Michael is trying to get through to the semi-final. He knows he has to win by a few legs. Something's tickled Phil.
Well, this is very, very strange, this relatively new attitude from Phil Taylor, who's always been an intense competitor. Oh, look at him. Oh, but this year, and particularly at the World Match Play, his last appearance at the Winter Gardens, he insisted right the way through the tournament that he didn't really care. He was just playing with freedom. We'll see what happens. And I didn't believe him, but by the end of the tournament, I really did. He is just playing with a freedom. He doesn't really... He's not got that much invested in it. It's just a free roll for him this final year in his professional career.
Well, he is the ultimate competitor, isn't he? In all the years as we've seen, so he doesn't like to lose games. He'll keep hanging in there. I say he's got that little cheeky grin on his face, hasn't he? Let's see if he can take out a big shot, whether he larges it to Michael. That would be nice.
It wouldn't surprise me. But this freedom with which Taylor is playing, it has actually helped him produce some magical stuff this year. This would be magical. The old Taylor magic. Can he summon it up again? Does he even go for it? Well, he did, I can assure you.
26.
That was one of my darts at the bull there, I think. A long way off from Phil. I didn't expect it to be that far away.
96.
Well, we're seeing 11 darters and 12 darters and missed darts for 12 darters all over the place. Averages round about the 110 mark for the pair of them. Double 16 for 3-2. No real help, that one. Doesn't matter.
He missed 2 darts in the previous leg and was punished. Van Gerwen was back on 150. He managed to hit it with that third dart.
60.
Back within 1.
There was a spell as Michael Van Gerwen was just hoovering up major titles, ticking them off his list. He has won every big TV title apart from this one in PDC darts. But there was a spell just over a year ago, the 12 months prior to that, where he beat Phil Taylor in the Premier League final and in the final of the match play, and he beat him massively. 11-3 in the Premier League final, 18-10 at the match play. He was winning legs almost 3-1 against the greatest player of all time, and it looked as if Van Gerwen had the beating of him. But since then, Taylor has a very, very good record. He's won 6 of the last 9. And Michael Van Gerwen's playing like a man who wants to start changing that stat.
Yeah, they'll be glad to see the back of him, won't they? At the end of the year. Yeah, 2 fabulous performers in our wonderful sport. Plenty of room to the left.
Well, again, we're looking at potential 12 darters or maybe an 11 dart leg. This for a 12.
96.
Narrowly misses. Taylor, the 81. He missed a dart in the very first leg for this exact checkout.
7-19 for double 12. First sequence, double 12. 3-3. 3-3 it is. Boom! He says, boom, boom. shake the room.
7th leg, Phil to throw first.
Well, I mean, it's a passable impression. I wouldn't say it's a mirror image.
Getting rather tasty. They're loving this, they really are.
96.
Crowd getting behind Phil Taylor, and you'd have to say that the crowd in Blackpool this summer may well have been the decisive factor in his clash with Van Gerwen in the quarter-finals, where he was well beaten the world #1. But he got dog's abuse. 6 180s now for MVG.
Yeah, under 177. The scoreline is the important bit. The closer we'll get to
84.
that finishing line, it'll make it harder if the scores are close. Van Gerwen has to win by 10-7 or better to get to the semi-finals.
Well, we know Van Gerwen's not going to finish top of the group. That chance is gone now. He needs to win it 10-1. But Taylor, 8 or 9 legs. Obviously, he wants to win it, finish top of the group. But 8 legs is enough.
Oh, he wants to win this one, I can assure you. Smile or no smile on his face. Same with Michael Van Gerwen.
55.
Happy with that visit. Still has himself a little bit to do on 72.
Oh, go on, lead double one, Phil. Go on, why not? Oh, well, a sensible 150 setup, and what a setup it is.
Not a bad little setup. Tops! He applied the pressure.
And the 150 has left him double 16. A cracking little setup. And a cracking little dart at double. The power into the lead.
Oh, 3 legs on the spin for Phil Taylor. Van Gerwen's had a dart at tops in the last leg, one at the bull in the previous leg. Is it 6 maximums and a 177? And he trails 4-3.
All about the right shot at the right time, and that 150 from Phil Taylor. He's said this before over the last few years. He knows he's not the dominant force that he was in darts. He says the magic isn't there as often. He can't go to the well and produce these incredible moments as regularly as he used to do when he won title after title after title, year after year. But it's still there. It was there in Blackpool. It was there in Melbourne in Australia when he won there.
Well, before this tournament last year, people were questioning whether he'd win another TV event. And all we could say was, well, maybe not, but he's still producing an incredible level. It's just that everybody else has got better. And he won this one last year, beating Van Gerwen twice, as we know, and once in the final. He's won a few World Series events and obviously the World Match Play, so it's still there. It's the desire, the smile on the face there. Tells you a big story. He's enjoying himself.
He certainly is, and why not? He's averaging 106. He's leading the world #1. Looking for a hat-trick of wins against MVG at this tournament.
Yeah, still unbeaten Phil Taylor in the Championship League of Darts.
99.
MVG may get a dart at the bull, may get a dart at double 5. It is the bull. And the bull is hit. 4-4. These two titans going toe-to-toe in Cardiff.
Well, he did that finish like he was going shopping for a pound of bananas and a loaf of bread. He just strolled up to the board, 130 left, hit the ball and walked back.
Is that the standard MVG lunch?
Bit of respect there from Phil. He knows it would be finish there. Michael trying to get himself back in front. Well, let's be fair, both players are playing fabulous here. Whatever the outcome, it's a joy to watch these two when they're firing at each other and both on form.
It really is. 7 180s for Michael van Gerwen in 8.5 legs of darts. And we know he can sustain this level. We've seen him do it.
Well, 2 more legs before the 10-leg interval. 4 apiece at the moment, so the next couple of legs could be crucial from the thought processes of both players when they come out for the final push.
133. What could we require? 54.
One more.
34.
I'm not happy with that.
Will we require 149?
It's one of those finishes, obviously hard to get, but very doable. Oh, not happy with the second one there, Phil, but he's left the double, so Van Gerwen has to take this one. He's got any hope, really,
Just
winning the match and getting into the semis.
Casually chucking in the treble 18 there. Oh, double 5. Oh, Michael van Gerwen.
Could that be the moment where he loses the chance to get to the semi-finals? Taylor, no messing from him. Well, Van Gerwen took out that 130, started the next leg with a maximum. I thought this was the moment where he was going to really turn on the gas. And then, crucially, misses the double.
Taylor knows that he will not go into the break behind. He probably would have taken that if he'd given it. Knowing that he only needs 8 legs to ensure his place in the knockout round.
96.
He'd certainly take 6-4.
Yeah, the mathematics is easy, isn't it? All you've got to remember is you've got to win a lot more legs against somebody who's not just playing well, but averaging 105, 106, and you don't get that many chances. So that last leg was crucial, it really was.
43.
A slip from Van Gerwen. Taylor may look at the 19s. No, looks like he's going straight at the 20s. Oh. Doesn't want to hit 100. Well, how often does he do that? He shouldn't have gone for that shot. If he hits 100 there, single 20, he leaves a bogey number.
Shows how confident he's feeling and
Will we require
the level
125?
he's playing at. Will he stay there? 25 for Bull. Is he going to stay there? Knows Van Gerwen's on a finish. No, he's gone for big 18. He'll get the pantomime boos.
He would have had to get on his knees to fire that one into the bullseye. But we know a couple of bullseyes from Michael van Gerwen there.
He's just showing him where it was.
Taylor showing where double 16 is. He can, and he does. And the greatest player of all time, Phil Taylor, leads 6-4 against the world #1, Michael van Gerwen, looking to knock the Dutchman out in the group stages of the Champions League of darts. And looking for a 3rd win in 3 games at this tournament against him. The power is on top.
Fabulous match. Can't wait for the conclusion of this. Wonderful for both players.
Well, this is why it's loved, and this is why it's called the Champions League, because it is the very best of the best, thrilling us here in Cardiff this afternoon. Phil Taylor needs 8 legs to seal his place in the last 4, and this is just absolutely magnificent stuff, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, and I think you can tell Michael's playing under that different pressure. He's not playing a standard game when he needs to win. He needs to win by clear legs, and I think he's had a few little opportunities to sort of get in that position to win by those legs, and he's thinking about it, and I think those 3 darts to double in the leg 9 has cost him.
Absolutely. There have been moments in this match where, at 4-4, for instance, Michael van Gerwen is on a great shout to get the 6-4 at the break, but now he's 6-4 down.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about this sport sometimes. You just don't know what's going to happen. Michael van Gerwen's done a lot right in this game, but the very, very near misses that he's had on doubles and bullseyes just cost him.
What have you made, Paul, as well, about the way Phil Taylor is playing the crowd as well?
He has to, because if there's no crowd, I think Michael van Gerwen wins easily. Phil knows with little things that he's learned over the few years, and that mimic of Michael van Gerwen's patented celebration with a double fist, that upset Michael.
Yeah.
It's been done to him before by Kevin McDine at the World Championships. After that, Michael went bananas against him. Here, it's just a slightly different game and a slightly different opponent. But Michael, he will be upset with that. He'll want to come back from this break and win everything.
Yeah. Also, Mark, the viewers at home, you won't be seeing this, but because the camera is so trained on Michael van Gerwen, but also Phil is turning to the crowd as well, isn't he? Just before Michael steps up in the hockey, and he's doing this, the fist bumps are there. He's trying to get the crowd on his side as well.
Yeah, well, he's in the luxury position, really. He doesn't have to win the game. He just needs to accumulate a certain amount of legs. And he's playing on that. He's trying to do things to gain the advantage. He looks very relaxed up there, and obviously it's working in his favour. He's took out some key shots, and those last two legs may knock the stuffing out of Michael there, because he needed to get in with a lead, I think.
But also, Paul, let's be honest, Michael is still very much in this.
He can, because if there's anybody in the world who can win 6 legs in a row against Phil Taylor, it's Michael van Gerwen. But the obvious thing we can say is that in this match he has hit that bullseye on 2 brilliant occasions. 127 in the first leg, 130 in that leg there. He can do this. He's just got to summon everything he's got right now and just hit Phil Taylor from the very first start he throws.
Yeah, if anything, it's like the bull shots he's hit. It's the simple, he left the leg at 72, I think, and he made a mess of that. He made a mess of the 54. I think he had 5 darts of that. And I think that'll eat away at him, because he's closed out some good shots to get that advantage, then he's let it slip in the leg after.
Yeah, and also Phil is already out on the hockey as well, just out there, and he just wants to get this over and done with, doesn't he?
He wants to get the crowd on side very quickly before Michael gets back on stage. He did this in Blackpool a couple of months ago. He had the crowd on his side. Here in Cardiff today, he's got them on his side again. It's looking very, very likely that he's going to get over the line again.
Okay, can you call this one? You're going to call it now?
I think it's going to be close, and Taylor will get the legs he needs.
Mark?
Yeah, Taylor will get the legs he needs.
Thank you very much. Let's go back then to Dan and Alan.
Taylor may be on top, but if you're writing off Michael van Gerwen, I think you may be being a bit hasty. This man is a Dutch master. Right up there, Rembrandt, Johan Cruyff, 2 Unlimited, that kind of calibre of export from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he's fabulous, but he just looks like he's under a little bit of pressure, doesn't he? It's okay producing it, like I said before, over that many legs. But when you've got another player who's averaging 105, 106 against you, those moments don't come that often.
They don't, and Phil Taylor knows. We've seen so many 12 and 11 darters and missed darts for more 12 darters. Taylor knows if he can produce a couple of those brilliant legs on throw, that'll be enough to get the 80 he needs.
Yeah, it's all about producing your best ever level at the right time. Timing this game is so important.
60.
He's trying to G himself up, isn't he? He's trying to G himself up. He knows he's capable of doing this.
Well, Michael van Gerwen has won 12 titles this year. That is more than the number of events Phil Taylor has competed in, and yet he is still capable of turning up the 57-year-old and producing this 104 average we're seeing here and taking out shots at crucial times.
Well, he's such a good stage player, isn't he? The big arenas, the big TV events. He just feels so at home. Very hard to beat because he feels so comfortable on that hockey. That's why he's produced it over 25 years or so.
79 major titles for Phil Taylor. And that is 8 180s for Michael van Gerwen. But Taylor, for one of the 2 legs that he needs to be sure, 9 for double 16.
50.
Well, this has got to go.
Michael will require 66.
He knows it. Double 18. Oh, wonderful darts. Yes, you can see what it means to him. He knows how crucial that was. Still a lot more work to do.
A tale of 2 66ers in the opening leg after the break. Taylor misses, Van Gerwen hits.
Same old scenario we say so often, leg by leg. But just in the back of his mind, he knows he can't afford to lose any more.
58.
So that'll happen when we start getting to the doubles, or like the last leg he had one dart at the double, he hit it on that occasion. I'm sure there'll be a few more at the conclusion of this match.
43% for Phil Taylor, 36%. It's kind of, it's good, it's all right, it's nothing special. 8 180s for Van Gerwen and 104 average. But even though Taylor's only hit the one maximum, 15 scores of 140 or more, it is consistency from Taylor over the course of this match. His scoring consistency without hitting as many maximums, anywhere near as many maximums.
He's hitting the double at the right time as well. Keeping the pressure on, taking his chances. And if he's in trouble with the second dart here, should go for bull with it. Well, he's not hit it anyway. So good opportunity here for Van Gerwen to get it back level. He knows the task ahead.
64.
He knows the task is hard. He knows the task he's capable of getting.
But he also knows that if he plays his best stuff, Michael Van Gerwen can do this. He can do anything.
Michael, you require 80.
Double 10.
Game show. Let's go.
Nodded ahead.
We have got a level game again. Taylor still 2 legs away from safety.
When you're 2 away, you almost feel like there's still a chance, but when it's that 1.
Not a bad time to produce just your second maximum of the game.
Has to follow it. Great reply, but really needed the maximum. Slip from Taylor. Slip from
45.
Taylor. Will Van Gerwen pounce?
He may.
100.
Just the ton. Not as much punishment as MVG wanted to dish out.
Good dance from Taylor there after the previous visit. Is Van Gerwen going to leave a finish?
58.
The answer is no.
And that means Phil Taylor has 6 darts from 136 to get one of the legs he needs. 16 will give him 3 darts. Well, that's a good choice.
I'm in the same boat. Well, he may stay up there. He has done. As he knows the conclusion of this leg is all down to Taylor. And Taylor hasn't missed. He's hit the magical number 7. Still not safe.
Michael Van Gerwen must win 4 on the spin. There is no other option for MVG. But Taylor could take it out of his hands.
He looked happy with that one, didn't he?
127.
Oh, strangely threw at the ball with the last one there. Can sometimes show lack of focus. Didn't need to go for the ball route there, just taking off the 5 number at the end, which is not the required amount, but it seems to have relaxed in this leg.
24.
And after 9, there's left to finish.
A treble here.
60.
Well, he's down to a finish, but it is a massive one. Van Gerwen will feel that he's got a couple of visits. Treble 18 for tops. Not to be. Could Taylor produce the biggest check out of the game to secure his place in the semi-finals?
Well, he'll be going for it. He'll be going for it. Treble 17. He's hit it for a place in the semis. Oh!
Requires 71.
It wasn't a match dart, but it might have felt like it. Van Gerwen. Wonderful dart. Double 16. Still alive, MVG, the world number one, levels the match at 7 apiece. Taylor with the throw.
Yeah, kept his composure there to hit the double.
That is 10 maximums for Michael van Gerwen. He is doing everything within his power to stay alive in the Champions League of darts.
Just thinking to myself, he may need a 9-darter to stay in the match, and he starts the leg with a maximum. Fantastic. Another good attempt at winning the leg. 190 after 6. But it's really, you feel, all down to what Taylor does. Through first in this leg.
98.
He's left to finish, although a very big finish.
96.
Well, he had a go at the ball for a 161 in the last leg and missed it. Can he give himself a dart at the ball here? No, he cannot. And Michael van Gerwen, 94.
Will he go for treble 18? Will he go for the bull route? Almost guaranteed. Well, it looks like he's going for treble 18. 2 double 18s, possibly. No. Double 8. Oh! He was focused on it. He knows Phil Taylor's on a finish that he's very capable of hitting.
Only one treble needed for another dart for this 8th leg. Oh, well, treble 20 in tops. Simple equation. Fantastically executed. Taylor will go through to the knockout rounds. A dance of celebration of some sort. And Michael van Gerwen, a man who has won titles in Shanghai, Las Vegas, Vienna, Hamburg, Wigan this year, is not going to win a title in Cardiff this year.
Well, I don't think Phil Taylor will get him dancing on ice with that kind of move, but at least he'll move into the semi-finals. He knows it now. Everybody else knows it. Michael knows it. It's all about winning this game now.
A despondent Michael van Gerwen. The world number one. This is the only big TV title he's not won. He came here on a mission, and it has not gone well.
60.
No, he's had his chances. He hasn't had many, to be fair.
99.
I think the crucial stage was definitely those 2 legs before the first break. At 4 apiece, he had a couple of chances. Instead of going in level or 6-4 ahead, he went in 6-4 down, and that really gave him a mountain to climb.
100.
Well, there's still a game of darts to be won here, but irrespective of the score, this will feel like a victory for Phil the Power Taylor, even if Van Gerwen were to rattle off 3 legs on the spin here, because Taylor has done what he needed to do against the world number one, a man he beat twice here last year.
117. Well, I can assure you, he went for bull 17 ball, but he hit the 25, hit the 20. Almost an exhibition finish from MVG. Well, he'll still want to win the match, though, won't he, Michael? Despite knowing he won't take any further part in this tournament this year. Almost a second prize, isn't it, by just winning the match?
It would feel like a hollow victory, but any victory of any kind against Phil Taylor, well, something to be
losing a
savoured.
£5 and finding a pound, wouldn't it, I suppose?
85.
A few more quid involved, obviously.
Well, Taylor knows that victory puts him top of his group. He would play Gary Anderson, number 2 in the world.
85.
Mensur Suljovic, top of the Group B, who will play the runner-up in this one.
60.
220 for Taylor. looking at a setup. Well, a full house will leave himself tops. A full house leaves him tops. He's loving it up there, the power.
103.5 average. This is just what Phil Taylor has made it his business of doing at the Champions League of Darts. He did it all the way through the tournament last year. And he continues to do it here. One leg away from extending his perfect record at this tournament.
He's having his own little party, isn't he? He's loving it up there. He loves it here in Cardiff. Still a little bit of a job to do here. Still needs one more leg for the victory and remain unbeaten.
There were genuinely people saying this summer when Phil Taylor won the World Match Play for the 16th time, Phil, why don't you call it quits now? You've won it again, 16 world titles, 16 match plays. He's not played a great deal of darts this year, he's not going to be at the Grand Prix. But look, he can still do this. He could well finish top of his group, beating 3 world champions in this group of death, and who knows, go and win this title for a second year running.
I don't think there's any doubt in that, Dan. You know, he's done it for so long. He knows he can still play at this level.
85.
Just when you're getting pulled from pillar to post for 25 years, he just wants a break from it. That's why he's made the decision to retire. Still know he can produce 100 averages on a regular basis and win titles, as we've seen.
MVG for the second time in this match has hit 2 bullseyes in a visit, and he's left a bullseye, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for it here, you know. He did.
We love it. We love it. Well, down to the last leg. We both know the scenario. Whatever happens here, this is now all about the win.
Taylor is through, MVG is out, but we've still had a titanic game of darts here, and it is not over just yet. Oh, well, it is rare you see Michael van Gerwen throw 3 darts with less focus than that.
Yeah, poor lost start there. What's going through his mind at the moment? Well, he's got a lot more years here in Cardiff to make amends for the previous 2 years, this one and last year.
Well, since the rise of MVG, since becoming a major champion, and obviously breaking records left, right and centre, winning pretty much everything there is to win, we have not seen him go out in the first round, or the first stage of a big TV tournament. But it is happening here in Cardiff, and Taylor could seal the deal with the biggest check out of the lot, and it's still on.
Ooh, he wanted it. He really did want it. Really would have put the icing on the cake, the candles, and blown them out. Nothing Michael van Gerwen can do about it. Taylor for a fantastic win in a fantastic match. Double 10.
Phil the Power Taylor edges it in a deciding leg. He knew already that he was through to the knockout rounds, but he has sealed the deal and continued his perfect run at the Champions League of Darts. For the 3rd time, Phil Taylor has beaten the world #1 Michael van Gerwen, who I'm sure is going to be asked to sign that board in a moment. Can Taylor win 2 more this evening and retain his Champions League of Darts title?
Outstanding from both players, but well done to Phil the Power Taylor. Wonderful match.
103 average from Michael van Gerwen, 10 maximums in that game, but still not enough to overcome the 16-time world champion. Phil Taylor, 102 average of his own. He goes through as group winner and sets up a mouth-watering semi-final with the world #2, the Flying Scotsman Gary Anderson.
Well, what a wonderful match, and this crowd here in Cardiff have been treated to a terrific afternoon of darts, and we knew it was going to be magnificent between these two. But what is also significant as well is that Phil Taylor won this tournament last year, went through it unbeaten obviously, and was protecting his 100% Champions League Cardiff record too.
Yeah, he's still got it, and in more sense than one. He's still got his 100% record, but he's still got the talent. Even though he says he's retiring, he's just averaged 103 and a bit, or 102 and a bit, against the guy who was averaging very similar, the best player in the world, and he's still able to get over the line in a very tight match.
Superb performance from Phil.
Yeah, he played the perfect game, really. He never let Michael get that hope of making that, 4-leg difference he needed, 3-leg difference, sorry. Every time Michael got the break, Phil got it back pretty sharpish. And I think when he had the lead 6-4 in the first break, it was a big ask from there on.
Yeah, and also, I suppose, if the producers of Strictly Come Dancing 2018 are looking for a contestant, well, maybe Phil, if he decides to pack the darts in, maybe he fancies a bit of Strictly.
It might happen, I mean, if you can get John Sargent on Strictly Come Dancing, then definitely you can get Phil Taylor on it. But this was a very good shot because the first dart wasn't perfect. He took the odd 7 off, knew that he needed a 60 and a double top, got those and enjoyed it.
Oh, I tell you so, Michael van Gerwen did not enjoy that at all. There was a forced smile at the end with the handshakes. That hurt today.
Yeah, of course it did. But, Michael's lost games before. We see how he recovers. I don't think he'll be overly worried. He'll be a bit frustrated at the minute, but there's a bigger picture in the rest of this year for Michael. He'll be frustrated he's not won this tournament because he didn't win it last year, but I don't think he'll be overly worried going forward.
Phil is with George Riley.
And Phil's just been watching himself dancing on the television. You missed your calling, haven't you?
I've got to go on Dancing on Ice now, or Celebrity Come Dancing, I'd win that one. Do you see them moves there? The old hips.
The guys in the studio saying you played the near-perfect game. What was your assessment of your performance?
No, not at all, not at all. I can play better than that, of course I can, and Michael can. I've just played Michael's game. He's a winder-upper, so am I. So I've just given him back what he normally gives, you know what I mean? He gives it large when he goes in front, so I thought, give it him large when I win a leg, and that's what I did.
Does it make it more pleasing for you winning and knocking Michael van Gerwen out?
Of course it does. I love to lose. Of course it does. He's a world #1 and world champion. Of course it is. It just shows everybody I can still play the game. When he come off, he had to go up Bob. He says, I kept moving his stuff on. They're thinking I was disrespectful. He's talking a load of rubbish, to be honest with you. I don't touch his stuff. I don't even know what he's on about. What stuff? His dart case? No idea. But who cares?
Was there a bit of bad blood up there, or was that just competitive nature of both of you?
He's the best winner in the world. He is the best winner in the world. But when he loses, the biggest smart arse you ever drew breath. And I'll tell him when I go upstairs, trust me.
You have got a semi-final with Gary Anderson to look forward to.
Who never stops smiling. Whether he wins, loses, or draw, he never stops smiling. He's a great character, and he's going to hit loads of 180s, Gary is. I think Gary's got through by the skin of his teeth, and I wouldn't put money against Gary to win this, if you know what I mean. I'm going to give him the best game he's had all weekend, but he's one of them players that can just pull it out whenever he feels like. He's so talented as Gary. Adrian is, but Adrian didn't show it this weekend. But Gary can, and he's sneaked through. Peter should have gone through. Gary knows that. But never mind, it's me and Gary Anderson in the semis.
And we're looking forward to it. It'll be live on the BBC tonight. We'll see you then.
Thank you. Thanks, George.
Cheers, Phil.
Yeah, we'll see Phil a little bit later on. What do you make of that then? There's a very interesting interview there. Is there real bad blood between those two, do you think?
I think there's more bad blood now than there was before.
Before that interview?
It's like one of those cocktails that you just keep adding stuff to it. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And at the end, you put the umbrella in it. You might as well light it up because it's just going to explode at some point. Maybe these guys have got a collision course for the World Championships where Michael van Gerwen will want to be the last player he ever plays at a World Championship. Michael van Gerwen wants to take him out. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah, what's your understanding of the relationship between them?
Yeah, I think it stems from that game in the World Match Play. I think there were some comments after the game that Phil made. Michael's been stewing on them. I think he was hoping to obviously get one over on Phil in this tournament, but he hasn't, and Phil's ignited it yet again. But I think Phil's just enjoying it, the fact that he's winding him up. He's got a few more months left of his career, and he's just enjoying himself.
He looks like he's enjoying himself as well. Okay, let's show you how Group A finished then. We are right up to date. Group B finished this afternoon too. Phil Taylor tops it. 3 out of 3. Raymond van Barneveld as the runner-up.